Okay, I'm gonna give you a little bit of assistance with the mini assessment 2 on 7.9c. It says that a figure is using 4 semicircles and a rectangle. So you need to find out what's the closest to the area. So that means that we can use pi as 3. Okay. Obviously a rectangle is just base times height. And then to find the area of a circle, it's pi times radius squared. That's for a whole circle. So let's see what we have here. Obviously we have one rectangle, base times height. Okay. So all you gotta do is find base times height. Okay. Rectangle, by rule, they have two sides, two parallel, congruent parallel sides. This is 10. This is also 10. That means this is 18. This is also 18. So base times height gives you one answer. Now these two half circles here actually make one whole circle. So if I connect my half circles, like for example right here, let's say I had this whole circle here. Well, I know that this is my diameter because it's going all the way down, all the way across from one side to the other side, crossing the center point. So the diameter is 18. That's for these two circles. And that means my radius is half, which is 9. Okay, and then I look at the other two circles, the other two half circles, which is this guy. If I make this guy a whole circle, okay, this line is all the way across, it's the diameter again. So for this one, my diameter is 10 and my radius is 5. So then I'm going to use this one. I'm not going to divide by 2 because these two halves make one circle. These two halves make one circle. And so now all you got to do is find the area of this guy and then the area of these two half circles
Angel Figueroa, please report to the
and
front of
the
school.
area
Angel
of these two
Figueroa,
half
please
circles.
report to the front of school.
And then once you find the three answers, you add them together. So just remember, base times height gives you one answer. Pi times radius squared, which is pi is 3. Radius is squared, so radius times radius. So this means here, pi times radius times radius. 3 radius, you have it right here. That's for these two half circles. So pi times radius times radius. You're going to use the same equation for the other two half circles. So pi times radius times radius. And those three answers, because you can have one answer here, one answer was these two, and one answer was these two, you add them together, you get the sum. And the one that's closest to these answers is your answer. Good. Number 2 there. Jody designed a composite figure consisting of 2 3/4 circles. Congruent also. 2 3/4 congruent circles. The radius of each is 6 inches. Which of the following best represents the area? So this is just a bunch of quarter circles. So I know it's going to be pi times radius squared. The word quarter means 4 quarters in a dollar, so I'm going to divide by 4. Okay. This answer, and let's put the radius is 6. That means that this is 6. That means this is 6. Okay. That means all sides are 6 because the radius is 6. Because if I was to connect my circle, okay, as you can see, this is the center to the outside. That's the radius. The same thing here, center to the outside is the radius. Same thing if I would make the center to the outside here. So what I'm going to do is cut this into quarter circles because it says I have 2 3/4 circles. Well, look, cut it into quarter circles. As you can see, the radius is still 6 anywhere you go. And so once you do this, your answer is going to be for each quarter circle. And to find the answer to the final answer, you have to get the sum of each quarter circle. So this gives you the answer for each quarter circle. And then all you got to do is add all the quarter circles together. Okay. A 3 is a very easy one. Contains a rectangle and 2 congruent triangles. So rectangle here, base times height. triangle, base times height divided by 2. Here, base times height divided by 2. Okay, so just remember this is your rectangle. 20 by 6. This is 20, this is also 20. Happens to be the base of the triangle here. It's also the base of this triangle. And how do I know they're congruent? Because it tells you 2 congruent triangles. So that means that this line coming down here is also the same as this guy. It's 3. So all you gotta do is base times height divided by 2. Base times height divided by 2. The rectangle is just base times height. Get an answer here, an answer here, an answer here, and just add them together. Okay. Number 4 there. The rectangle has a width of 10 units and a length of 24 units. What is the area of the unshaded? So the keyword here is it only wants the area of the unshaded, so we're gonna subtract. It doesn't want the entire area, it wants the unshaded. So that's part of it, so we subtract. And so I look there, the width is 10 and the length is 24, so I'm gonna put there. Okay. Okay. So just remember, make your width 10 and your length 24. Okay. So your length is 24 and your length is 10. Okay. And so now you can figure out the answer. Think there, you have a rectangle, you have 2 triangles that are the same. All you gotta do is find the area of the rectangle. So you do base times height, area of the rectangle. So the area of the rectangle is just base times height. That's it. Okay. Now if this is 10, obviously this is also 10. Happens to be the base of the triangle. So this is also 10. And so now what's the height? It tells you it's 12. So for the triangles, you're going to use base times height divided by 2. Don't forget, you have 2 of them. So once you get one answer, you have the other answer. Subtract both of these from the rectangle. Triangle again is base times height divided by 2. Base times height divided by 2. Rectangle, base times height, base times height. And you get your answer. Okay, let's go to the next one. We'll see here, number 5. Okay, very easy problem. Okay, simple. You got a rectangle and a triangle. They want the area of this composite figure. So this is your triangle here. Okay, so to find the area of this one, it's just base times height. Remember, triangles have 2 pair of congruent sides. Okay, 2 pair of parallel congruent sides. So this is 26. Well, guess what? This is 26. Base times height. Base times height. The triangle part, which is the on the left side here, this is the triangle. Okay, and so think there. What 2 numbers hit each other at a right angle? If I look there, remember, not the rectangle part, I'm looking at the triangle part. If I look at these 2 numbers, that's not a right angle, that's actually an acute angle. Don't think about this one, this is inside the rectangle, it's not part of the triangle. So I'm talking about these 2 lines. And then these 2 lines touch each other here at this vertex, another non-right angle, an acute angle. But if I look at the 12 and 5, I can see they meet at a right angle. And so that's what I'm going to use for my base and height. So base times height divided by 2. Your answer to this, add it to the answer you get over here. So remember, base times height divided by 2. That answer, you add it to the other answer you're going to get over here, base times height. Okay. Number 6 there. Find the area of the figure below. You have a rectangle. Okay, you have a rectangle there. So it tells you it's 18 by 5 feet, and this is 10. So give me the dimensions of the rectangle and also part of this here. Now, if I made a whole circle, you can see there, it's not a whole circle. It's not even half of a circle. If I slice it into 4, I have 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 1/4 of a circle. So now, the area is equal to pi times radius squared. I only have 1/4 of a circle. I don't have a whole circle. I have a quarter circle. So I'm going to divide by 4 because this is called a quarter circle. So a quarter circle. Okay, that's a quarter circle. So we divide by 4. Use pi as 3, and that's good enough for me. Remember, just figure out this is the radius or diameter, and then add the two answers together. Number 7 there, look at the composite figure. The trapezoid and the triangle have congruent heights. That is very important for you to know. Trapezoid and triangle have congruent heights. That means this is the height of the triangle. Well, the height of the trapezoid and triangle have congruent heights. They're the same. So if this is 12, well, this is also 12. And so now I know a trapezoid is base 1 plus base 2 times the height divided by 2. There's your bases. Base 1, base 2, height is right there, divided by 2, you get the answer. This triangle is just base times height divided by 2, base times height divided by 2. Add it to this other answer. You add them together. This one here again, base 1, base 2, height divided by 2. Remember, the bases are always opposite of each other, and the height is always perpendicular to the bases. That's why we have a right angle here, and we have a right angle there. Base 1 and base 2. It doesn't matter which is base 1 and base 2, because they're going to add them together before you do anything else. Just remember, the height runs perpendicular to both bases. Okay. Number 8 there. Which best represents the area of the composite figure? We have two half circles. This is the one half circle there. And then we have another half circle right there. And so now, if I look at the bigger of the half circles, I know if I had the whole circle, that would be it. And if this is 20, it goes from the center to the outside. I know that happens to be my radius. Okay? If I wanted the radius would be 20, the diameter would be, of course, 40. Because on this other side, we have another 20 centimeters. Okay? And so I have to find the area of this circle, which is area is equal to pi times radius squared. We're going to divide by 2 because it's a half circle. Well, this one is also a half circle. But on this one, my diameter is all the way across. It happens to be 20. And the radius is 10. Because look, if this is 20, half, that's the radius. Well, the diameter is all the way across, that's 40. That means 20 plus 20 is the diameter. That means this 20 happens to be the diameter of the smaller circle. Because 40 is the diameter of the big circle, the diameter. The radius is 20, but the 20 is the diameter of the smaller circle. Because if I would make my circle here, I see that this line goes all the way across this small circle, and that happens to be the diameter. That's why it's 20, and the radius is half of that, 10. So again, I'm going to use my same equation, pi times radius squared, divide by 2, because half circle. Find both answers and add them together. Number 9 is just plain and simple. One of the easier ones. Rectangle, base times height. You have a triangle here. Base times height divided by 2. Okay, this is your triangle. Base times height. Base times height. Base times height divided by 2. Base times height divided by 2. Add both answers together to get the final answer. And number 10 there, it consists of, look at the composite figure, it consists of 3 rectangles. The 2 smaller rectangles are congruent. So that means that this guy is, if it's 3 and 6, well, the small one is also 3 and 6 on the other side because they're congruent. It says that the 2 smaller rectangles are congruent. It says it has 3 rectangles. I can see them. 1 in the middle, 2 on the sides. The 2 smaller rectangles are congruent, so they're the same. That means this is 6, this is 6. All I need is the height of this guy here. Okay? So I'm going to use area is equal to base times height. Here, area is equal to base times height. And here, again, area is equal to base times height. Base times height, base times height, base times height. You got to figure out what this is. Once you get all 3 answers, add them together, and you'll get your final answer. and good luck. Adios.